Hello, Iris Zero here. Hope you're all well. I'm good. Thank you very much for asking. So, I just watched the original Independence Day for like the millionth time. Haven't watched it in a couple of years, but I watched it today because the new movie's coming out. I think on Thursday over here, Independence Day Resurgence. So I thought I'd watch the original movie, and definitely this isn't the film I saw when I was, I think, 11 when it came out. I remember I saw it in the cinema back in 96, and I remember I was just like, wow, amazed by it. Because back then I was like full on alien, like conspiracy stuff. So, like I said, oh my god, this could actually happen. It looks so real. Now you look at it and it's like, oh boy, that it kind of looks bad. Definitely by today's standards and even the standards of the new movie. When it was blending, especially when it blended CG with the with like real stuff, like when you see it coming over New York and New York over DC, it didn't look very good, or it doesn't. It did back then, doesn't now. But when you saw the practical stuff, that looked really good when they're blowing stuff up. CG, not so much. So I can hardly, like, I can't add anything that hasn't already been said. The good stuff and the bad stuff. In fact, I'm going to put a link in the video. There was a discussion a couple of years ago on the Opie and Anthony show where they talked about Independence Day, and I had Patrice ONeal. It's unbelievably funny, and it's quite a unique way to actually look at it and some of the stuff, some of the scenes. So I would recommend. But if you are kind of offended by a bit of blue humor, probably don't listen to it. But I'll put a link anyway. It's really funny. But watching it myself, it's definitely not the film I saw a couple of years ago. Like, I just remember watching it when there were scenes that were supposed to be funny. I laughed. When they were sad, I went, oh. Now I look at it and it's just real corny. Like you do roll your eyes a couple of times, especially by taste. And it was real like cheesy one-liners, and like most of the problems I have, it's all nitpicky stuff. But the thing is, there's a lot of nitpicky stuff. Like when Will Smith first sees the alien, he calmly punches the alien rather than freaking out, oh my god, there's an alien. And after he punches it out, somehow knocks it out with just one punch, even though he's wearing like a exo bio suit. Still manages to knock him out. And he just calmly sits down and smokes a cigar, not thinking of the fact that maybe there's a co-pilot in there. But, and like, it's stuff like that all the way to the very end. So the way they blow up the ships on Earth, like obviously they nuked the mothership. But when they blew up the ships on Earth, the only way they really made an impact was when they blew it up from the inside. When it was gonna shoot down its main weapon. What's his name? The actor's name who played Cousin Ed. When he blew it up, he had to actually go inside the machine when it was firing its weapon. And while, yeah, you can tell the world, hey, this is what we did, there was no guarantee that all the other... Randy Quaid. Sorry about that. The actor's name is Randy Quaid. There's no guarantee that, when the British were attacking, when they're attacking in the Middle East and Russia, there's no guarantee that they were going to do all of that. Like, the aliens would open up. Like, unless they have some real kind of OCD thing. Okay, we're fighting. We have to open the door now. It's like, alright, look. This ship blew up. Most likely, let's look at our weaknesses. Okay, chances are it was when we open up our weapon. Let's not do that. Let's just, keep everything up. Our shields are down, but we have minor damage. Let's just, pile on our ships, our mini ships, blow it up, and, and that's it. But no, apparently they all opened up, and, which kind of makes them the dumbest aliens ever. But, that's, I suppose, just the way it is. I mean, they had to do it. Again, these are nitpicky stuff, and this was just a typical blockbuster movie. Although, to be fair, this is probably the first typical blockbuster movie. And since then, there's been, like, especially when it comes to disaster films, because then you had, like, The Day After Tomorrow, 2012, even San Andreas, which I think was last year. I think last year, San Andreas, it was the same kind of kind of whatever stuff. But yes, sir, I'm scratching my leg. I don't know how it looks on camera, but my leg's very itchy. So overall, there's so many nitpicky stuff that kind of takes you out of, like Judd Hirsch being over the top. All the characters actually are over the top. You have like so many, kind of actors with voice. Like you had Robert Lozier, you had Bill Pullman, you even had what's that name of the gay dude that was with Jeff Goldblum. It's like, oh my god, I need to call my mother. So many people had just voices like that. Hopefully the new one doesn't. It's not going to have Will Smith, so that's kind of a disappointment. Instead, it's going to have his son, or I suppose stepson. So it's going to be interesting. I'm not expecting much from this film. I think it's just going to be the same. And the fact that there's no reviews out yet, and it's out this week, kind of makes me think that maybe it's not going to be that good. Kind of with Batman versus Superman. Usually, the longer you have to wait for reviews, the least likely film's going to be good. I mean, at least typically. Like X-Men Apocalypse, the reviews came out very early, but it still got poor reviews, so I don't know. We'll have to see. But Independence Day, ID4, which again, I don't get why it was called ID4. Actually, that's one that really bothered me, because obviously ID Independence, which actually Independence Day. But the 4 is like, 4th of July, but ID4, I don't know what it means. And I'm too lazy to look it up. But ID 4 is in 4th of July. It just doesn't make sense. It feels wrong. Even back when I was 11, seeing ID4 kind of, I knew what it meant, but it didn't seem right. Anyway, whatever. So we'll see how the sequel goes on Thursday. So that's it for me for today. So until tomorrow, I'll actually do a review of Independence Day 2 on Thursday, whatever. So until tomorrow, I say to y'all, have a good one.